Have you ever been ghosted and left wondering what you did wrong, what you said wrong, or if there was any way you could have prevented it? Well, ghosting happens a lot, and it doesn't just happen in dating. It happens in friendships, family relationships, and even professionally. I've talked about it in previous episodes where for counselors, it happens a lot, unfortunately. And the hardest part of being ghosted is the lack of answers. Human brains want closure and explanations. We need to complete that cycle in our brain. And we're naturally going to start looking for it. So oftentimes people start asking themselves those questions like, what did I do wrong? Is there anything I could have done differently? And this is also because the uncertainty often hurts more than the rejection itself. So getting those answers often feels better because it hurts in the moment, but there's closure. The uncertainty leaves so much room for interpretation. But the key to this is not to automatically blame yourself. Ghosting happens for so many different reasons, and we never know what's going through someone else's mind because we can't be mind readers. So, someone ghosting you is not proof that you're the problem. Sometimes it could be because they're avoidant, they have poor communication skills, there's emotional immaturity there, or they may have personal issues they don't want to talk about. So the behavior says more about them than it does about your worth as a person. Ghosting has no weight on your worth as a human being. It's also important not to chase them. I know it can be tempting to try and reach out, maybe sending follow up messages, calling, trying to get a hold of them, but that's not going to help. Maybe sending one follow up message is okay, but repeatedly texting, calling, or checking in usually creates more pain for yourself. If someone wants to communicate back with you, they will. And again, this says more about them than it does about you. And it is important in this case to protect your peace. I have a hard time with that saying because I feel like it can be overused. But in this case, your time and energy are valuable, and not everyone deserves unlimited access to you. You're allowed to set that boundary too. If they don't want to talk to you, you don't need to talk to them. And continuing to focus on someone who isn't responding does steal your peace because you're left thinking about them all the time. The healthiest response in this situation is just taking a step back and letting it be. So instead of focusing on this person or this job or that you applied to, had an interview with, and they ghosted you, like any of those situations, it's important to spend time with friends and supportive people. We love a support system. Stay engaged in hobbies and activities that you enjoy and can focus on. Keep your normal routines and avoid checking your phone and social media constantly. That's a tricky one because I know getting in the habit of texting someone all the time, you're checking your phone more often, and then all of a sudden you don't hear back and you're checking it still at that same pace. It's important to take a step back, set the phone down, and set boundaries for yourself around your phone. And just focus on things that bring you joy and fulfillment because that's what's important. So sometimes ghosting triggers deeper wounds like rejection, abandonment, self esteem struggles, anxiety, OCD, all of those things. And if it's striking a nerve in those departments, then it's worth talking to a therapist about. And in conclusion, closure doesn't always come from the other person. You can find closure within yourself. And a lot of times we don't get closure. That's a privilege. Closure is a privilege. And if you reframe that mindset, it'll help you get through these times. If you're really struggling with the emotional impact of being ghosted, like I said, it's important to talk to a therapist about because being ghosted is a pretty normal experience. But if it's striking one of these deeper wounds, it's triggering that childhood trauma you've had, then you should talk to a therapist about it. And we have lots of therapists at Tampa Counseling Place that can help you work through this and learn how to handle it in a healthier way and also challenge and get through those old wounds so that this doesn't come up again. So that's how to handle ghosting. And until next time, keep on reflecting.